So week after week, Elizabeth Warren would come out with one proposal after another, and huge areas that need massive improvement in American politics, and it didn't seem to be doing anything for her. She was still sort of languishing in the polls in 5th or 6th or 7th place, and we would complain about it here. Why does nobody care that she's taking this so seriously? And then it became sort of a meme, and certainly a narrative in the Democratic primary, the she's got a plan for it thing. And now it looks like maybe it's working. And so we're gonna be talking about that, Brett. But first, I wanna debut the most indecipherable chart that we've ever showed on the show. If you're on the podcast, that's actually a benefit because you don't have to try to analyze this. So let's take a look at this. It's the Real Clear Politics rolling average of all of the candidacies.
Way to pitch this. Way to get people excited about this chart.
It doesn't mean anything. But so, okay, on top you've got Biden. He finally announced and he shot up and now he's been sort of going down. In blue, you've got Bernie Sanders who dipped a little bit, then rose back and then dipped a little bit, but we're talking about like a percentage point. And you are not gonna be able to find the brown bar, but it is Elizabeth Warren, and she has moved up over the past month or so from averaging around 5.8 to 6% in the polls up to about a 10%. That puts her comfortably ahead of Kamala Harris and Pete Buttigieg. And so in whatever language you wanna say it, she's now in 3rd place. And perhaps this is a trend that will continue. What do you think?
Well, I think she's definitely not only rising to become the most likely candidate for president, but for Empress of the Earth. I'm just saying that it was started going up there. I think Elizabeth Warren's challenges are not that she is a bad with policy or anything. It's just that when she gets onto a stage as a candidate and you have all the performative aspects of it to deal with, she just doesn't, with America as I know, and I hate saying this, but like America as I know it, which has a lot of people that won't vote for a woman, she's not the kind of woman they would vote for. I don't know how to, I don't endorse that behavior or that activity. I just don't see them looking at Elizabeth Warren and saying, leader, go get Iran now.
So, okay, interesting, and I understand a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, I don't endorse that behavior by any means, but that's my appraisal of it.
It's just the first thought that you have baked into your bones.
Yeah.
When you think about politics, yes. Okay, so
keeping men on top. Which, if you want to hear that.
Couple possible counterpoints. In terms of leadership, she did start to rise pretty shortly. There's multiple variables, but pretty shortly after she was, I think, the first to come out and say that President Trump should be impeached. She was in a town hall and she gave a very passionate sort of denunciation of Donald Trump and the criminal acts and all that. And she started to go up. I mean, is that a version of leadership that perhaps she could continue?
No. It's just not in her. It's just she doesn't have that presence.
But that town hall, did you watch that town hall?
Yeah.
I thought she was pretty good.
Yeah, but no.
She was more personable.
And then you could look at the people who are going down as she's going up, and those are Biden, maybe, but also Biden gets a bump. It's tough. Here's my full appraisal of the situation. Biden got a bump because he's in, there's a bump that happens. Then it starts to fade and people start to equalize. Also at this time in the process, the question is, whose name do you know? And the names you know, you're getting more coverage of Elizabeth Warren because of people like us saying, she writes policies. Everyone's like, yeah, but what are you gonna do about it? And you could just ask Elizabeth Warren. She'll be like, here, I did this, I literally did this in my sleep. That's how I can write policies and come up with ones that are smart and work, and your move now. So I think the strategy it's just my personal belief.
Well, to be clear, you're saying that you don't think that is what is driving her rising the polls. It's just the coverage because of that.
Yeah, which I think
depressing.
No. I think that's do more of that. Incorporate more of that. People get louder about how she has the policy because that is what folks latch onto, and it's either that or go do 23andMe again, and that's a bad idea.
You could try.
But this is the thing that works. Do more of that. Have more policies. Just flood people with policy after policy, where it's like we're going through, and then just remind people of the policy. Also, do more videos with AOC to raise your level, because you see Bernie's going down at a time when Elizabeth Warren's going up. The question is, are they just exchanging people at this point? As open-minded progressives are like, I like her. Oh, that's a progressive candidate. Oh, I like him. That's a progressive candidate. I'm really excited right now.
Maybe. I mean, you do have some other people going down. So Beto has dipped. Some of that support appears like maybe it had gone to Buttigieg, but maybe some of it went to her. There are still undecided voters who might be sort of vacillating
too. But hers is an overall upward trend, which is great.
Yes.
Which is great for her.
And overall, like her favorability ratings in the Democratic Party are 57 to 16 in a Morning Consult tracking poll. There's still 28% of Democrats who say they haven't heard enough about her to form an opinion, whereas the two people in front of her, Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, only have 8% who are still sort of ostensibly open-minded. She has more room for growth. So I guess the final question would be, if you were Bernie Sanders, would you be worried right now? Not necessarily just about Biden, but about Elizabeth Warren specifically.
Question.
Why?
Would you be worried?
Well, you just said that you think there's a possibility that they might be trading voters.
I just don't think he's the type, right, to be worried. Like that's not a setting he goes to.
Input a different word other than worried.
Would your strategist?
Would you factor this into your?
Should a strategist on the team be worried?
Yes.
I don't think they should be worried. They probably are worried, but I don't think they should be. I think the things that will get Bernie to the top, similar to the things that have propelled Elizabeth in this specific upward tick, are to focus on policy. Being worried and is going to distract you from being able to focus on policy. So just go to those things that you're each going to continue to do. You're each going to get moments in the news cycle, like we're about to cover with Bernie later in the show, where you get to get back in the news and people are reminded who you are. I think all of this is very preliminary, and I think once you get a debate season going, you see people on a stage together. That's what that's what closes gaps fastest.
I disagree. I think that this fluctuation's it.
Okay,
and this is just determine the whole thing.
I've been right once on this.
I think
show.
we're good. I think we can. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much for watching this clip from the Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.